When did I first do Silly Survey Sunday? You don't have to be right on the nose, but see if you can guess when it was. Have I ever done a naked blog? And because it's Flying Dad, this is going to be a very unique Silly Survey Sunday, because I'm going to do it naked.
Questions, I've got some questions I want to
So there's this new thing going around where you get tagged, you have to vlog naked. I get tagged twice in one day. What's that supposed to mean? I think it means they want to see you naked. Okay, yeah, I know that, but what I mean is, how is it possible? It's quite easy. 2 people tagged you. Okay, just never mind. What's everybody doing? What's my favorite vegetable?
Fine. What's your favorite vegetables? Well, I'm a vegetarian, so I pretty much only eat vegetables and fruits. Probably peas, versions of peas, like chickpeas and stuff, like hummus.
Do I make sandcastles on the beach?
Do you make sandcastles when you go to the beach?
I used to make sandcastles when I went to the beach, but what I was really loved doing was I would get into, like, where the water was coming up and going away and coming up, like, right there, and I would stand there with my little feet and just go and sink right down to my knees. Like, I just kept doing that. So it wasn't so much the sandcastle as the, oh no, I'm stuck, Mom! Because if you did that for a while, and then you stopped moving, you actually got stuck. You had to, like, slowly wiggle your toes, and then you'd eventually be able to wiggle your feet until you loosened the sand up around you. Like, if you got in deep enough and you stopped moving, solid. It's pretty cool. And the other thing we used to do is my sister and I, we used to race the waves. Like, we'd go into the waves, and, like, we'd follow them in, and then as they were gushing back, this was, like, at the harbor, though. This wasn't, like, the beach. It was, like, the ocean, which in Canada is way too cold. Right up to them, and then as the waves were coming, we'd be like, ah! So we'd start running the opposite direction away from them. Sometimes Nikki got caught because she was, like, 3, but it was okay. Have I ever had a pet frog?
Well, I grew up in the country, so I did have a few pet frogs in my time, and none of them survived. First pet frog I ever had, I put him in a wading pool. I was very careful, too. There just weren't any flies. It wasn't completely my fault. Anyway, I got a wading pool. I filled it with water. I put it half in the shade and half in the sun. That way he could have, you know, the perfect temperature. And I put a rock in the middle so he didn't have to always be swimming. And I gave him grass and everything, so it looked like his natural habitat. But the problem is I was too far away from the brook and whatnot, and so there were no flies for him to eat. So, and the second frog I had wasn't so much frogs. They didn't get that far. And this time I was even more logical, and I put, like, weeds and stuff in there because they were eggs, so they needed to cling to things. And the eggs hatched, and the little tadpoles were running around, and then we decided to go on summer vacation, and I guess we must have had a drought that year because we were gone for a couple days. When we came back, the water was all gone, and they were all dried up to the bottom. And that was my last I ever tried, because I love animals too much, even as a kid, and I was just like, I felt so bad. I still feel really bad for that, So I never successfully had a pet frog, but I did have a pet frog for a day or 2.
What is the strangest non-sexual thing I have ever ingested?
That bubble solution that you get as a child to blow bubbles with. Watched a cartoon where somebody had swallowed soap or something, or that bubble solution, and they were able to blow bubbles, just like, and I wanted to do it, so I swallowed it, and then I was like, ew, this stuff is nasty.
Do I prefer shoes or bare feet? I do prefer to go barefoot. When walking home in the city even, sometimes I'll take if it's in the summer, I'll take my sandals off and walk home barefoot. I don't enjoy footwear, except for the sexy ones. Don't get me wrong, I have plenty of sexy footwear. I just prefer barefoot.
This has been a Bwings production.